Denied. Okay, cool. Good stuff.
Also, I don't know whose screen share will be shared, but you can set up the piles in such a way that those who don't have the camera on are grouped together out of sight.
I'm
That
not
that is an
By
option.
the way, I need permission to share my screen again.
Let's check this. Caitlin set this one up.
Let's see.
Yes, now you are.
Okay. Thanks.
You are co-host. Nice. Hey, good stuff. Look at us. All four. So no guests in today, but it's just us. You think? Right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, guests are always welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a social setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are live actually, right?
Are we? Oh.
Yeah.
Will has not counted us down yet, right? Oh. Oh. Let me check. No, not yet. No, wait, hold on.
Yeah, we are live.
Yes, we are live. All right. Okay. Well, hello all. Welcome to today's live stream. Happy Friday, people. And so with this edition of Friday Night's Build, we will be building AI agents with PydanticAI. We've looked into Agno AI and Crew AI in previous weeks, so check those out after our discussion tonight. And there will be three of us today. Our developer, of course, and leading the discussion is Davi, as well as Robert, Director of Events, and myself, Creator, Calvin. So, Davi, want to introduce the topic a little bit further?
Yeah, sure. So thanks. Yeah, let's talk about what generative AI are actually, because just a quick recap on the topic before we dive deeper. So to explain basically what it means, right? Generative AI agents. That's basically the topic that we are continuing today. We already had other live streams covering Crew AI, Agno AI, and today we are going to cover the Pydantic AI. That's a different way to create agents. So a generative check the weather, look up local events, compare train times, and finally give you a plan. So that's different, right? Of simply asking one thing, you are asking the agent to plan something, right, for you. And they are called generative because they use AI models that can create text, images, or code. And they are called agents because they act like assistants, like a digital assistants, making decisions, using information, and sometimes even talking to each other in your behalf, right, to get the right answer for you. So yeah, in short, just a recap, AI agent, AI can think in steps, use tools, and work toward a goal, and not just answering a question, right? And I will now share my screen just to introduce the tool of the today topic. Let me just share here the Pydantic website. So let's introduce like first Pydantic, because Pydantic started as a Python library for developers. So its job is pretty simple. When you are building software, you often need to make sure the data is in the right format. For example, if someone enters their email, Pydantic checks that's really an email, not just a random text. So it's like keeping data clean and structured. So that's basically the role of Pydantic, to validate the data, to create a structure of data. And that's basically what it does. That's the role of it. But now here's the leap, because Pydantic AI takes the same idea of a structure and applies it to AI agents, right? So usually when you ask an AI agent for help, you might get answers in kind of, shapes, sometimes a neatly, sometimes a big block of text, sometimes even a broker JSON. And PydanticAI helps you to fix that by letting you say up front, okay, I want an answer in this exact shape, in exact format, right? Then the agent is guided to follow that. Like, just if it doesn't, it gets correctly automatically, right, to shape the exactly output format. This is one of the let's say benefits of using the PydanticAI to help you to shape the output of your agent using the existing Pydantic framework. You can do that at the same time. It helps you to get a more predictable, let's say, structured outputs, and you can link it, connect it with the real project. So it helps a lot in handling those things with correct format. So let's recap, like Pydantic, you can use it to validate data, to create a structure that's clean. And with PydanticAI, it's basically created by the same team behind Pydantic, and its purpose is to help people to create AI agents. So they are two different tools. The Pydantic is a Python tool that's not specifically for AI agents. You can use it in any other Python project. But PydanticAI, it's a solution from the same team, right? They created Pydantic, and now they created the PydanticAI from the same company, let's say.
May I ask, looks from the website itself, would you say that PydanticAI is mostly for coding and developers compared to Crew AI?
Yeah, it's not so user-friendly. We don't have a studio or an UI to create agents as we have with Crew AI, for example. We have a really nice and beauty studio when you can drag and drop agents and configure it visually. We cannot do it with PydanticAI yet. You need to create it using your code editor with Python code. In order to start using it, you need to have at least some knowledge in terms of logic and code, but you can use your AI assistant like Cloud Code, for example, to help you or to guide you creating your agent with the PydanticAI. But you basically, you need to handle code, right, to make it work. You don't have like any studio, any UI, but you can create it using Python code, the same that we did using AI, the same thing. So let me show you now as you can see here in the page, you have the PydanticAI and Pydantic Logfire that I will talk about it later. That's really cool, fantastic tool to debug your agent and see what's happening behind the hood. So really cool tool that you can use not just with Pydantic, but you can use it with other agents as well, as like telemetry, right, and a monitor that you can see all the requests. Let me just talk about now on PydanticAI. I think we are seeing now the PydanticAI web page. Just talking about it, here you can see some of the benefits. We already talked about some of those, like they have the same Pydantic validation created by the same team. That's a validation layer that you can use. Model agnostic, it supports, different models, Perplexity, Azure, Amazon, Google, a lot of different models you can use with it. You can connect. You have observability. That's exactly the Logfire product. This helps you on the observation of your AI agents. So really cool. You will see it in action, I mean, during this live stream. Yeah, some type-safe powerful evils. So more technical things here. We have like a human in the loop tool that helps you to approve any step. You need to have like a human approving before executing something. And outputs, so you can create structured outputs, and it also help you a lot on the integration things, like have this information in a very well-structured format to use in some integrations. But yeah, so this is basically the website of the PydanticAI. You can check it out here. You can see the documentations. You can see some getting started code examples that can copy and paste and start using it. But I also want to show you something really interesting. I will share my screen, another tab here. That's the GitHub start history, because you can compare the tools that we already talked in the previous live streams. We started with Groot AI, then Agno AI, and now with the PydanticAI. And you can see, for example, all the history in terms of the GitHub star. When you like a project, you can just like even start this GitHub project and see it evolving along the time. And here we have a comparison. As you can see, the Groot AI, we have, as for now, let's say, yeah, 38,000 stars. So it's the first one. The second one is Agno AI, 33,000. And we have the PydanticAI with 12,000 stars on Google. So in terms of popularity, you can say that the Groot AI is the winner, but it's, I mean, in terms of popularity, right?
Yeah, there's difference
also,
in accessibility, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, probably because of that. You have like more accessibility. You have like it's more user friendly, maybe. But the point is, we have the Groot AI like in the first place. I'm not adding here the AutoGPT in this list because it's a separate topic. The AutoGPT will have more than 100,000 stars. But we'll talk about it in our next live stream about the AutoGPT and talk why it's so popular. So we can just compare those tools. But it's really interesting to see, I mean, and how those tools are evolving along the time, right? We have some spikes here, probably in the beginning, right, in 2024. We have like Agno AI starting in 2023, and we have the PydanticAI like starting in, yeah, mid-2024. So very good way to compare those different tools in terms of popularity. So, and you can also add new repositories here. It's starhistory.com. You can do that simply, I mean, add different GitHub repos here and compare them. All right, let's talk briefly about the Logfire, because it's also a nice tool that I want to share it today, the Pydantic Logfire. All right, so there is it's another piece that we'll hear about. That's this Logfire from Pydantic as well. So let's say, think of Logfire as, let's say, a control panel for your AI apps. When you are building AI, it's not always clear what's happening behind the scenes, which model was called, how long it took, or even why it gave a certain answer. And with Logfire, and Logfire helps you with that. It tracks the steps your AI agents take, records their inputs, outputs, and even shows you where something went wrong. So this is called observability. So we are being able to observe and measure and understand what's going on. So it helps a lot, I mean, in terms of observability using this tool. Let me zoom in a bit. I mean,
may I ask,
you'll be able to see it.
So that's cool that it actually has a history of the thought process and the work and how the AI works, will you be able to roll it back?
Mm-hmm. No, here is just like a log. You can
Okay.
see everything that happened, but you cannot like change anything in terms of behavior. You cannot like roll back things, for example. If for no technical folks, you can think of it like a flight recorder in an airplane. So it doesn't fly the plane, but it records everything, so you can know what happened and can improve the system, right? You can, based on that, you can change your code. You can also check here the cost of all of your prompts, the responses, how many tokens, right, you are consuming in your AI agent. So you can also use it to get those information regarding cost, debugging issues, monitoring performance. You can see, as I mentioned, the request and response. So really cool to use it.
Pretty.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
pretty, yeah.
pretty.
We will also enable it in one of the examples. I will bring some examples here today so we can understand better how it works, and also to help you to compare with the other tools in the market that we have so far. As I mentioned in the previous live stream, you have some tools that are more verbals, that you need to add more code to reach the same result, and other tools that with a few lines of code you can reach the same thing. So, but yeah, keep in mind that if you have a layer of abstraction, it's doing the work for you behind scenes. So if you are not adding, so many lines of code, the SDK or the tool is doing it for you, right? So you don't have like the control of everything when you choose like abstractions. Because you are basically choosing to create things more simply, right? So you don't care about complexity, about all the details behind it. But for some use cases, maybe you need to have more control and you need to have to create more code, right? But it depends on of your use case, what you are trying to achieve, right? If you are starting, I will recommend you to start with something simple, right? Creating things using UI, and also creating agents with few lines of code. And if needed, if you need to improve it and add more specific things to your AI agents, probably you need to go to start using more verbal solutions with LangChain, with also Pydantic, that you have more control of the things using Python. But let's start simple, right? Let's start by just creating something really simple for us. And that's what we do now. I will switch to my code editor and I will show you how to create a very simple agent with the PydanticAI using Python. So let me stop here and I will share my code editor. Okay, this is the Visual Studio Code. Okay, probably you guys
So
are
it's all
seeing my
done
screen.
within VS Code.
Yes, you can use any other, editor. I'm using here the VS Code because we are working with Python. So you need to have at least an editor that you can edit and create Python files. So it's simplifies a lot, the process with the VS Code. What I want to show you today is basically, I have here, for example, really simple example that you can check it here on how to create an agent with PydanticAI. So as you can see, really simple. I have here the PydanticAI, and I'm importing the agent. So agent is our abstraction here, where we can set the model. In that case, I'm using the GPT-4o mini model. And I can set, the initial context. In that case, the system prompt is the initial context. So I can tell to the agent, okay, be as concise as possible, reply with one sentence. I can add in anything that I want here. And I need to run this agent. So as soon as I set it, I can just use my prompt here, right, to tell something, tell me about Tokyo, Japan, for example. And I can start running it, right, just passing the prompt and run the prompt, right, run this basic agent. We have a few details here. For example, you can choose if you want to run it as in streaming mode. I mean, as soon as the agent gets the answer, the agent will stream the answer to me in real time, right? Or if I want to wait until we get all the answer ready, and then the answer will be output to me in the terminal. So I have a few options here that I can use. Let me just execute it as is. This is the agent 2 single. That's really this one here.
So you mentioned that this would work in any Python editor. So as in
Yes.
this Pedantic plugin or module, you call it, would also work in PyCharm, for instance, or any other popular.
Yeah. You just need to install the dependencies that you need. In our case here, we have some dependencies. For example, the PydanticAI, the Pydantic, if you want to create like a more structured way to output the result. OpenAI, because in that case I'm using OpenAI, the model. The Python.env here because of the environment variables. If you want to use the OpenAI, you need to provide your OpenAI key. So it can't charge you. I mean, in terms of how many tokens you are consuming, you are using your account, right? So you need to provide it.
Davi, I do have a basic question at risk of making you roll back a few things, but may I know how you even log in to PydanticAI? Like, how does PydanticAI know you have an account?
No, at this point, you don't need an account, right? Because PydanticAI is a library, so you can just install it and start using it. You only need an account if you want to use the Logfire. That's the tool that I mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Before.
So basically, you log in for the history that you showed me before, but to use PydanticAI, it's
free. You don't need. It's open source.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need an account for that.
Right.
You don't need to pay for it. But Logfire, it's a different product. It's a paid product. You have a limit of, as far as I remember, 2 million logs that you can use for free. And if you need more than that, you have a specific paid layer that you need to paid plan.
So
to use it.
If I don't want to use Logfire, then the only thing I'm paying for is pretty much the tokens for OpenAI. Cool.
Exactly that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the only thing that you need to pay here is the tokens, right? If you're using OpenAI, you need to provide your OpenAI a key. But in terms of PydanticAI, it's open source, so you don't need to pay for it. So yeah, basically here, what I did, I ran this small example here. That's an agent that basically I'm asking things and using the ChatGPT, the GPT-4o Mini to answer the question for me. So I just ask it here, tell me about Tokyo, Japan, and here I got the answer. I will run it again just to show you, I mean, the streaming way, right? So if you can notice, actually, because it's a short answer. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you can see that the words, they are being concatenated in real time here because we choose to stream the result and flushing it to the terminal in real time. Okay, this is very basic. So if you want to create something, you can use the system prompt to tell your agent to act like specific persona and specify it on your agent. We have another example here. I also want to bring some examples like using the MCP. because COTI has an COTI MCP that you can connect to it. And also, I will start using here, for example, the output and the fun fact about the topic. So instead of just receiving, a text from the model, I can just start structuring it using the Pydantic. So this base model is from Pydantic, and the agent is from PydanticAI. So now we have two different things here, right? And here I just created a result type when I have like the output and a fun fact. So I also want to have a fun fact about any topic that I want to ask to my agent. So I can just add it here, and I will start having answers in two different properties. One is the output as is, and one is the fun fact. And here I also added an MCP server. If you don't know, the COTI has an MCP server on Smithery. So, and on Smithery, you can get the link to our MCP and copy and paste it here. So basically, if you have a HTTPS link, you can from your MCP, you can copy and paste it here. And you can add it like a tool prefix just to, have an identification of this MCP. And now I have two different things here. I started with model and prompt, and now I have an output type. I'm saying, okay, this is exactly the output that I want to have from this model that I have created here. And I setting tools to this model, what kind of actions this model can perform. So in that case, I'm setting the MCP server because I want this agent to be able to create accounts, to create tokens on COTI blockchain, to check transaction status. So I'm giving here a lot of different actions to this tool from our existing MCP server, right? You can do it with other tools like Notion or Slack or any other tool. You can just add in this tool set all of these different tools, right? And yeah, let's execute it and see it in action. This is our example number 3 here. I will just clean my terminal and execute it again. One thing that I forgot to mention, by default, you don't have like an history, right, of your messages. If I, for example, in my first example, we first creating an agent from scratch, and we start asking things, okay, the agent will answer you based on your prompt. But if you ask, for example, a second question about the same topic, the agent won't be able to understand that you already asked it before, because it loses like the context of the conversation. It's stateless by default. So you need to instruct the agent to be stateful, right? By adding to the agent all the previous conversation to it, so that the agent will be able to understand, okay, you already asked about it, now I can use my answer that I gave you before as the input for your new question. So, and here,
So it's also should get better because of that.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing that you need to provide is like the message history here, right, to our agent, so it can keep all the previous messages, and it can start interacting with the agents based on that. So this is very important if you want to have like a stateful agent, that most of the cases we want to have it.
Basically like a context.
Yeah, you are giving context. So now we have like a memory of all the previous conversation. But by default, if you are creating things from scratch, you notice that your agent is stateless. So you need to provide the context to the agent. And that's exactly what we are doing here with the Pydantic. We are passing the message history to our basic agent, and we are constantly adding, new messages to the basic agent. So this is something really important if you are like planning to create an agent to consider right to the memory. So yeah, now we have this agent running. As you can see, I'm the user and is asking me to provide a question. As we have the MCP, the COTI MCP connected here, I will just ask to create a new account on COTI for me. So create a new COTI account for me. And automatically, as I'm providing the COTI MCP to the agent, it should be able like to rewrote that question to the MCP, right? Because I'm talking about COTI, and this is the COTI MCP. So let's see if the result here. I asked to create a new COTI account for me, and I'm connected to the COTI MCP.
So how would it know to use the MCP server? Because it could have multiple data sources, right? How does it know the code is related to that specifically?
Yeah,
Does it ping them all once?
In that case, the COTI MCP is the only one that I'm providing here. And also because these MCP specifically, we have a list of all the actions, all the tools available. And which one of the tools we have like a small description with an examples. And the model, based on that, the model will know exactly which action it should like call based on your prompt. So this is the magic happening here, because we are not like configuring it explicitly to call a specific action. It happens automatically based on the question that I'm asking. Okay, here is like a simple example with COTI, but I could have here, for example, different tags, different tools that I can attach to this agent. And which one of them will have like some kind of like a schema with a description of which one of them, and that way the agent will know exactly which tool it should like call. But and that's the beauty of like using AI agents, because you don't need to explicitly set this. It's something that happens automatically, as we can see here, right? I asked to create a new COTI account for me, and I have an output. So a new COTI account has been created and set as a default account. So I have here my address, I have here my private key. This is like really fresh new wallet with nothing on that. My ES key, to asking to fund this account to generate an ES key, and also give me the Discord link, the COTI Discord link, so I can click on it and ask for the COTI task tokens. And as you can see, a fun fact about the topic, like so here, yeah, it's just like, okay, COTI stands for currency of data. I'm not sure it's correct, right? But it's the fun fact that the agent gave me.
I think it's correct, right?
Yeah. Originally it was.
Yeah, currency of the
okay,
internet.
so, oh, cool, right? So this is the fun topic. So, and also I didn't ask for the fun topic in my prompt, right? But as I defined it in my model, that I always want to have like a fun fact about the topic, this is the reason why the agent is giving me this fun fact. So, and here we can see the difference of creating a structured output, right? Because I can simply start adding more and more properties here for things that I want to have as an output from this agent without asking it, right? So automatically it gives me this fun fact about COTI. And automatically it use the MCP from COTI as well.
In this case, fun fact about the topic is not described, so except for the name itself, if I understand it correctly. So it is deduced that it needs to be an actual fun fact from the name of the output of the string. So.
Probably, yeah, from the name, from the it's automatically the model will give me the answer based on that. So, but I think because of the, I mean, as I mentioned, COTI, it's automatically gave me a fun fact about COTI.
Sorry,
but it's.
If I'm
go ahead.
this correctly, so basically you didn't even like you didn't even write a prompt. You basically named
Exactly.
the string fun fact about the topic, and it just it recognizes it.
Yeah, because I created this property that's a fun fact about the topic. Maybe if I just like create fun fact, I don't know which one the agent will pick, but
just
here
fun fact in general.
in general, yeah, it could be like, yeah, in general, it depends on the name that you added here. I mean, if you are very specific on the name of your property, it helps to have like a better results. But you don't need to provide a specific prompt for it, right? It's just based on these property names, right? Also, I named it output, and automatically it map with the output without like setting it. So, and because of that, with few lines of code, you can have an agent connected with an MCP server and giving you answers, right? So you don't need much code for that. Really, really cool. And sorry, you can also use, for example, the Claude code to improve your agent. So you can ask the Claude code to add more, improve the system prompt, for example, as we did in previous live stream. You can also do it here. So I can ask different things. So let me try to remember the possibilities that we have in code. Oh, yeah. I need to fund this account first to deploy tokens, but I can, for example, ask for list my accounts on COTI. Let's see if it works, because to try to connect with the MCP, I'm not sure if all these actions are ready here. Okay, cool. Here are your available COTI accounts. COTI 1, account 1 and account 2. So basically same thing. You can fund the account, and we have a fun fact about the topic. Now it's different, right? COTI is built to process transactions at high speed and low cost, making it ideal for everyday payments. So now it's a different phrase here.
Nice.
But okay, those are like test accounts here. But that's basically the way it works, and how you can, let me show you the Claude code here. If you just type Claude code, if you have like the Claude code installed, you can simply like drag and drop here the agent. You can drag and drop here and ask to improve the, let's say, system prompt. And you can, with the Alt and Tab pressed, you can switch from the plan mode to accept edits. I usually like to have the plan mode first, so you can see, yeah, the plan. And here you can see yeah. And here you can see the agent and the new prompt, right? You are a helpful AI assistant with access to specialized tools through the COTI MCP server, much better than before. Your responsibilities, response formats. You can improve it a lot using the Claude code. And also you can add new agents if you want. You can specify a new agent, right? And add it to your pipeline.
Nice that you can, in combination with Logfire, you can also audit if it's actually following its own steps.
Yeah, I will show you in a few minutes the Logfire, because it's the only UI that you have here. It's the Logfire. And also, just like a small comment here, as you can see, as we are using the terminal, we can see all the output like in a raw format.
In ASCII.
But yeah, exactly. But in a real world situation, we need to make it available. On the internet, for example. So in that case, we need to create an API, for example, that calls these agents, right? And you can get the result. Here we're using the terminal. It's good. It's cool if you are testing it, creating it. But if you want to use it in your website, for example, you need to set up, a fast API, for example. And in that case, the AI tools can help you, because you need to create code for that. It's not something built in. You need to create code and make it available, and publish it online so you can call it and can schedule execution times. And that's, again, the difference from Crew AI. Crew AI, you can do it, everything on the dashboard, on your account, right? You can create your account, you can manage your agents there. You have one endpoint available. You can publish without code. You can just use the UI to do that. But here you can do some comparisons between, Crew AI and PydanticAI. Regarding the 3 different AI tools that you used in our live stream so far, I can say that the Crew AI is the best one in terms of user, is more user-friendly. Second one, PydanticAI, because it's really easy to create like rags, knowledges. You can import PDFs with it's very simple with 1-2 lines. And here with the PydanticAI, if you want to import like PDFs and do RAG, right? It's basically vectorial database that you can import content to it and do like a semantic search. It's more verbose, right? You need to create like a lot of code to that. Same with the LangChain, for example. But as I did before, it depends on your needs. If you need to have full control of your agent, you probably go with some more verbal solutions, right? With Pydantic of LangChain. But I don't know, most of the times, at least on my end, I don't need to have like that full control. I can have like a abstraction with AI, for example, that's cool enough to start creating agents.
May I ask, Davi? So we know that basically without Logfire, it's cost effective to use PydanticAI. Can the agents run on Gemini? Because Gemini is free too, right?
Right, you can. Yeah, you can use Gemini. Yeah.
Okay, so that gets rid of the tokens completely and makes it completely free.
Yes. Nice. You don't need to care about the token consumptions, right? Yeah. That's the only cost that you have. If you can get rid of it, it's cool. But if you want to use a specific model, that's paid model, yeah, you need to bring your API key. But you can start completely, with a free solution. SDK free and a model that doesn't need like a key to start using it. All right. So here we have used the COTI, the cloud code, to create like to improve our system prompt. That's something that you can definitely use. Let me go here to the next example, because when we start using agents, we first create one agent, but then we want to start interacting with different agents, right? And we can do it in 2 ways, right? One is the hands off. We can have an agent working, and then we can plug the output of this agent in the input of another agent. That's where handing off your work to another agent. Or you can delegate things, right, based on the prompt, basically. As we saw with Crew AI, for example, we are not dictating who will be the next that will take the job, but you can simply auto-delegate things based on what you want to achieve, right? So there are 2 different approaches here. If you want to have something more like a workflow, you probably want to have like a hands-off approach that you are specifically setting exactly the order of the tasks. And you can specify, okay, this agent will process the prompt first, and then I will get the output from this agent. I will improve it. I will add the output of the agent A as the output of the agent B, and I will set a new prompt and embedding like the result of the first agent on it. It's more like a workflow. You can think of it. But you don't need like to rely on the model to choose each one of the agents they will pick to process your request. You can simply follow, step-by-step flow. And this is basically what we can see here. We can simply run an agent. We can get the output of the agent, get the fun fact as well if you want. In that example, we are using the fun fact. And you can have a second one, that's the manager agent to review our work. That's a very common example, right? You have a first agent doing the work, and you have a second agent reviewing the work, right? And what we are doing here is exactly that. We are getting the output, right? And of the first agent, and you are setting it as a input of the manager, right? And we can redefine the prompt if you want, right? We can add the output, interpolate the output result in the new prompt, right? So please review this response and provide your assessment, for example. And also, let's say, and also we can have, for example, on the status, if it's approved or not. You can a quality score if you want. But let's execute this hands-off example to see it in action, because it's interesting how it works. Now it's processing it. It's not streaming actually, so we need to wait until it finishes to see the result. But basically we have two different agents. Oh, it's the hands-off. Let me check. I need to provide something. Okay. Explain about blockchain. Or let's say something like that. Agent is working now. The basic is working, right? To get the result. Okay, now we have the output of the first agent, as you can see. And now it's the the from the manager.
Score too.
Score 8 of 10. It's approved, right? We have a manager working here. And also the comments and the suggestions, right? Include a practical example of a blockchain application, such as how it works in the cryptocurrency transaction or its role in smart contracts. So, it's the manager, writing here some recommendations. And here is the improved response, considering, all the suggestions from the manager, right? So we have the final text, right? And here is the practical example, exactly what the manager asked about, right? So a practical example of blockchain technology is it used in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And okay, I think it's probably not showing the entire text. Okay.
So if you were to run Claude in agent mode, would it then take this improved response and, let's say, supersede the workers agent's output with that way for the next step that you want to use it for? As in, would the manager improve it for you, and then this process continues, or?
Yeah, the manager has the context of the conversation, so the agent can't improve. Okay, here if I can still let's try it. Let's ask exactly the same thing. To see if the agent probably will use some previous knowledge on that. Blockchain is decentralized. Okay. Now the manager is reviewing it. Yeah, in that case specifically, I think the manager is suggesting to include the practical example again. So we don't have here probably the context of the agent. We have like previous conversation, but but it's not like using it to improve itself in that case, right? So it's asking again to include a practical example of how blockchain is used. And here we have like the improved response, because basically we are restarting it each time that you ask a question here. But we need to add, if you want like to continue improving it, you need to add another agent and plug the output and the input and start doing it.
Have a copywriter and then have like a director look at it.
Yeah.
On and on.
Specifically for SEO, who does that, and then one legal check, and then
You need to have a complete list of agents here with different roles to start improving it. And yeah, I noticed here we have the fun fact. Did you know that the first blockchain was created in 2008 to support Bitcoin, which was the first cryptocurrency? So yeah, so you can see here it's working as well. Yeah, this is one way to use it, by handing off like all the work from one agent to the other. And we can also work with the delegation mode, but it works differently here because, as you remember, I think in COTI, it's just like an option that you can set to delegate or not. But here, in order to have delegation, we can actually add agents as tools, as a new tool to our agent. So we can have an agent, and inside of our agent, we have tools, and another agent can be added as a tool.
May I ask about delegation? So by delegation, you mean like there will be an AI agent and that decides which other agent to give the task to. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we can do a comparison with one of the first examples here. For example, with the MCP server. If you think about it, it's a kind of delegation, because I'm asking the agent to create an account for me, and it's delegating the work to the MCP server, right? So instead of having an MCP server here, we can have another agent. So that's basically the same thing. Instead of delegating it to an MCP, I want to delegate it to another agent, and that another agent can have an MCP and delegate to the MCP. And you can have infinite possibilities using that. And that's basically how it works. Because if you think about it here, I have a COTI agent and a COTI specialist, right? So I have two different agents. And basically, I can set the one of them as a tool to the other, right? So let me just find here. Yeah, we have here the agent tool. I have the COTI agent, that's the first tool. And here using PydanticAI, you need to have this annotation just to, basically you are saying, okay, this method here will be used as a tool. And you could do here basically call a new agent, or you can do like calculation. You can call an API or weather API. We can do anything here. You can use any method as a tool to your agent. So basically how PydanticAI solves it is by adding agents as a tool to other agent. And that's the way we can like delegate tasks to other agents. And here I'm running an agent inside of this method and say, okay, use this method as a tool. And this tool is basically another agent running. So that's basically how we...
I'm imagining a nested doll of different agents now.
Yeah. So yeah, you can simply, create your strategy, nesting agents, and giving them different roles. And as it is a tool, the prompt, basically, it depends on the prompt that you are giving. The prompt, you decide, the model, you decide which one of these tools will be responsible to handle the response. And yeah, that's basically how we can use multi-agents. And also we can create like a different format. In that case here, I have like a executive summary, like a technical details, key features, use cases, ecosystem info, future outlook, formatted report. If you want to create a report, it's really cool because you can set exactly what you need as the what is structure exactly you need. Because you remember that earlier in some previous live streams, in order to have like an structured output, we need to pass it to the prompt. We need to say, okay, I want exactly that, a title, a subtitle, you need this, that. But here it's different because I just need to define a structure, a prompt using the Pydantic solution, the Pydantic class, and I don't need to provide it in my prompt. So I have a clean prompt. I just need to ask what I want instead of, adding such of details, formatting details into the prompt. So we have a cleaner, right, prompt to use. It's much better because the AI can hallucinate. So even if you are asking the AI to give you exactly that output, AI can hallucinate and give you a different output. And here's the thing: if you are using Pydantic, the AI will populate each one of those, properties to give you exactly the output that you want. So that's, for me, it's one of the benefits of using like Pydantic together with your agent. So you can structure it better, the results that you want to have, like in that case, you can add a lot of different tools for report. I think it's really cool. So that's how, like, Pydantic, we can use Pydantic and PydanticAI in the same like solution. But as always, you need to specify the output type, right? You need to be very specific here and say, okay, I want this result type, or in that case, the COTI report type. I really need it to be set in my agent, right? So the agent can follow exact that. All right, so now let's show you the logfire. Logfire is cool. So I have commented out some lines of code here just to skip it for a while. But now let me let me copy and paste it and try with our MCP server, because it's really nice, right, to test it. Let me just copy and paste here our logfire.
And that is how you implement logfire, just 3 lines of code. Exactly.
Actually, 1 line here to import logfire, and to configure it is just like configure.
Okay.
And you can just instruct, for example, instrument PydanticAI or instrument TTPX. So if you want to capture, let's say, API calls, you can instruct the logfire. Okay, let capture all the traffic. Or if you want to just like instrument everything that PydanticAI is doing, for example, here, you can just have 1 line of code, right? But before that, just to be really clear, we need to have an account, right, as I mentioned, because it should be logged somewhere, and it should be like attached to your account, right, all the logs. So you need to have an account on Logfire. Let me log in here on my account. I will switch to another window now. Just a sec. What is Logfire here? Oh, here, my name. Okay. Yeah, here I have my account, my specific account here that I have created before, but it's really simple. You can use your Google account, for example, and it will create automatically a starter project for you. So as you can see here, I have a starter project. If I click on it, I can see, yeah, this, let's say, this page, and it's live, as you can see here, because yeah, it will capture everything that I'm doing on my agent here. in this page, and I can see behind the, okay, and I can see all the traffic here, all the calls to the OpenAI, for example, I can see here. Just if I want to debug it, right, and improve the token consumptions, if I'm using a paid model, I can improve it here. So let's start. I probably need to share my entire screen so I can switch from the COTI editor to the, yeah, here.
In that case, I'll make some space for you. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, okay. I will call this example again, the MCP one. So we can now see what's happening behind. Okay, this is the agent 3, single one with, let's see here, with stream, right. That's the one that I added, the PydanticAI. I haven't saved it, sorry. And now you can call it again. Let's wait. No. It's the 3, actually. This is the right one. Sorry. I need to save it. Okay. Let me close it and let me open it again. Okay, for some reason, I need to copy and paste again, but no worries. Let me just copy these 3 lines of code and also this line of code here. And I will import logfire here. Let me clean it. And now I will call the same agent again. Cool. Probably starting now. Let's wait. Okay. And here we have the logfire project address. That's exactly the starter project that I was mentioning. And now we are like in telemetry mode, because if I ask something, for example, I will ask again, like to create an account.
Did you say telemetry mode?
Yeah, this is the telemetry. I mean, it starts like listening everything that's happening, yeah. And it's sending all this information to the logfire, right? For example, now I asked to create an account in COTI, and now you are seeing this like funny things here happening here, because it's everything that's happening behind the hood, right? They are calling different APIs until it gets the final result. But now, if I go back here to the telemetry, right, the logfire, you can see here a lot of things happening. And I can see all the posts and the integration with like the model. For example, here is the endpoint of OpenAI. So you can see like the PydanticAI calling the endpoint of the OpenAI to get the result. And also I can see everything here, like the content, the prompt, and also all the result in details. If I want to debug, to see what's happening here, I can see everything that happened to have the answer at the end, right?
Yeah.
And step by step, right?
May I ask, without logfire, you're not able to check, right? Because you're only looking for it's only pretty much printing your answer for you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hidden. You cannot see it because it's happening under the hood, and you cannot see exactly all the calls directly. This is a very nice way to debug it. And also you can see here the tool, right? COTI create account tool, and the arguments of it. So, okay, it's pretty technical, but if you want to debug it, if you want to see what's happening, we can use the logfire to that. And here also you can see other posts here to other APIs. And yeah, I think we have like a different, yeah, we can have the raw mode or details, yeah, and see everything here. Yeah, cool. That's basically a way to do that. Let me see the dashboard if you have something else here. Yeah, we have like usage overview. Let's say the performance, the milliseconds. I mean, you have like to call each one of them. Scope, tools running. I mean, a lot of details here if you want to check
Yeah.
that.
If you know what you're looking for, it's good. Or what
Yeah.
you're looking at.
So, or even if you are having some error from your agent, you can see the error here and get more information in order to fix it. I don't know, but yeah, that's the thing. That's how like the Logfire works. It's, as I mentioned, it's more technical tool. If you want to figure out what's happening under the hood, you can just integrate it with Logfire. You don't need to have PydanticAI. You can use it with any other Python code that you have, because it's a standalone tool, right? But it's really helpful for AI. If you have a complex agent, or I mean a complex project, then you need to have something like that to start like I mean monitoring your agent. But it's not necessary if you are starting right now. If you are a beginner, you don't need to worry about the Logfire. I'm just like introducing here a tool that in the future maybe it's useful for you if you're starting like creating more advanced use cases. You probably want to have something like that to debug your agent. So, all right. We also have possibility to add knowledge, like to import PDFs, but I won't cover it today because with PydanticAI, it's not so easy as using Agnew AI or Crew AI.
I imagine
So
you have to figure out a way for Pedantic AI to access the PDF, right? It's not like a drag and drop onto your browser.
yeah, exactly. It's not so easy. And because of that, I won't cover it today. I will show like much more code here, more complex things that will be really hard to understand. Then I want to just cover more simple things, and just so you can understand the difference, right? For example, you can understand probably, okay, Pydantic AI is not for me. I probably want to start using Crew AI or Agnew AI. That's the topic here, to discuss the differences from those different tools, so you can decide which one is best for you. I mean, on my personal opinion, right? Ranking it from 1 to 3, right? I will say that Crew AI is on my first position, right? I like it the way that Crew AI solves the problem, giving me more user-friendly tools. Second, I will say Agnew AI. I really like the way that you can import PDFs and create your own database with a few lines of code. But it's still not so easy as Crew AI, but not so difficult or hard like the PydanticAI. I will say, on my opinion, Agnew AI second, and PydanticAI in the third place, because as you can see, you need more code to do things. You don't have much assistance from UI. You need to
it's all
completely
on VS Code.
VS Code, or using some AI tool to create the code for you. But I mean, not so easy, right? Keep in mind, it's not so easy. Probably more focused on existing developers, vibe coders. I will prefer Crew AI for vibe coders. Definitely is the best solution. If you're starting coding now, Agnew AI, because few lines of code. If you are more pro developer, you probably like more code, more verbal solutions. So Pydantic maybe can be a good fit for you. But
to be honest,
those are the.
When I was starting off this stream, I was a bit skeptical, because very overwhelming. but having you walk through how it works, I don't think it's impossible to pick it for me as a beginner to even pick it up. I like how light it is, and also how cheap it is, especially if I start using Gemini. Like, even I've seen YouTube videos of people of content creators making like I think just AI agents playing games with each other from Pedantic. I didn't know it was Pedantic, but I recognize it now. So very interesting.
Yeah. This example here on screen, for example, is a very simple one that you can do with few lines of code, but you can don't. It's just like asking a question and having a result.
Yeah.
So when we, start using agents, we want something more than that, right? To connect to tools and then that part, I think probably if you are starting now, you prefer other tools. I'm not saying that PydanticAI is not good, but it depends of the target audience, right? It's all about that, right? If you are a vibe coder, you prefer some solution. For a pro developer, you probably prefer another solution. They are all good. All of them will reach the same result. But it depends on your background experience, what you want to get from that tool. Some people don't like to code, they just want to have the problem solved using, an easy tool to guide on that. So in this series of, where you are talking about AI, we are not here to say, okay, it's not good to, no, I just like highlighting the difference of them, and
advantages
so you can
and disadvantages, because each has its own strength. Yeah,
exactly.
For this, I can imagine making a project of just like having two AI agents playing rock paper scissors with each other infinitely. Something simple like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's basically the examples that I want to show it here today, and mainly talking about the difference from like the Pydantic and the PydanticAI and the Logfire, and so you can decide, right, which is the best tool to use in your daily basis. But that's basically it from my end here. We are still have more live streams on that same topic that will cover the AutoGPT. That now, if you compare in terms of GitHub stars, is the top one, and we'll cover that in the next session. Really interesting solution. And also LangChain, so you can have LangChain as one to have a comparison with all the other tools. But next live stream we'll talk about the AutoGPT. That's really an awesome tool to create your AI agents.
All right. No more questions from my side. Once again, don't miss this chance to see more resources for you to build your own systems, and subscribe to COTI YouTube channel and set your reminder to join in more live streams. Next Tuesday, we're doing a deep dive into Supabase for Web3, along with Friday nights for more AI tools to create AI agents, as Davi mentioned. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Thank you, Davi, for the amazing presentation.
Thank you all.
Running in this, and stay COTI. Bye.
Stay COTI. Bye-bye.